this song I heard him say. He made that beat for me.
You said I'm good, or you were like, or he was just
ready.
like, hold on, let me listen.
I wasn't ready, man.
Yo, welcome back to 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. I'm Carmelo Anthony here with my co-host.
It's your boy, the Kid Mero, man, the human do-rag flat, man. This is 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, a Wave Sports and Entertainment original, and it's presented by Prize Picks. Man, this brother right here, his career has spanned nearly 3 decades at this point. He got every award in a book, everything that ends in me or a car, Grammys, Oscars, Emmys. You know what I'm saying? The only thing missing is the Tony at this point, but he go EGOT soon. I got faith in you.
Yes, sir.
You know what I mean? He's dropped critically acclaimed albums, plural, not singular, okay? He's worked with legendary figures like Ye himself. He battled John Wick on screen. And he even got trash talked by Mike. God damn it. Make some noise for Common. We got Common in the building, man. Welcome, my G. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
What's up, bro?
Welcome to the hook, my man.
Peace.
Yes, sir.
That's a good intro, Jay.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Good, man.
That's
Mero Buff out here. You know what I'm saying? Let's get ready
And
to
you got faith in me too, huh?
I believe you.
Yes,
It's been a
thank
long time I've been fucking with you. Listen, first-hand account of this backstory, because I mentioned it in the intro. Why the fuck did Michael Jordan send shots at you during the 2010 celebrity basketball game?
Start off with
Man,
that.
What the fuck? Did he think you was Ron Harper? What happened?
I mean, I don't know, man. He just, he Mike, man. I mean, Melo know Mike is a winner, and he ain't gonna let you like feel like you can do something when you really ain't doing it. I thought I was doing something because I played in the celebrity game, and I got off in that game.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And then I saw him at this party that night, the Brand Jordan party, and he was like, man, stick to rapping and acting. He crushed me, man. I thought he was about to give me some love. Like, yo, he was like, man, stick to rapping and acting, man. I said, damn, Mike. But I love, when niggas talk shit, like, it's love, and you getting it from the GOAT, man. It's all good.
Chicago, man.
Yeah, bro. That's what it is. I grew up. Cats was talking crazy, it make you better in many ways, right?
You should still
Not like that, not cats like that. Though.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a
Mike is a wild boy, man.
Yeah.
How much of a trash talker is Mike? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Melo, you've been
you know what I mean?
The
Like,
ultimate.
yeah, but
The ultimate.
okay, beyond Mike, who would you say is next up there?
Gary Payton,
Yeah,
just nonstop.
KG,
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Rasheed Wallace.
So when do it get to a point where, cause I be like, man, well, I guess you had a situation where it's like, I'm gonna see you after this. I'm gonna see you after. It can get to those points.
Yeah,
like,
it gets heated.
yeah,
Especially in the heat of the battle.
yeah,
That shit gets heated. But like shit talking is like, it's only a handful of people throughout the history of the NBA
yeah.
who's known for shit talking. Like it's a handful.
Non-stop. But what if you serving them and they shut up then?
Some don't.
Nah.
That was the shit. 36, nigga, ain't shit.
Yeah.
It's just days, third quarter.
Some don't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see today, in today's game, who was Pat Bev maybe.
Was that ever part of your game? Like, was it like?
Nah, my game was, I was more laugh at you. Like, you know what I mean? Like smile, hit a bucket, smile, laugh.
Yeah.
Enjoying that. Like, you know what I mean? I enjoyed fucking somebody up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I would laugh at that. You know what I
Motherfuckers
mean?
hated that smirk, champ.
Yeah.
When you hit the hezzy pull three, like, hit the smirk, they didn't like that.
Until they switch it and say, oh, he don't care. He don't care. He laughing too much. He play. You know what I mean? Like, it depends on the narrative.
He's not
narrative, right?
Depends on the narrative.
But you enjoying the game and just enjoying
Yeah.
it.
So, but I never was like a shit talking.
Right.
Like, I never was that.
Because KG, we know, we done seen it. Like, we did this video, him trash ass nigga, like from the court side, like in a suit. From the
But you
That's
can
what
see
I'm saying. It's not those type of trash talkers. Like, it's not.
Pat Bev might be
Pat Bev, Draymond might be.
Yeah,
But you can't do that today.
What,
you stick out like a sore thumb if you doing that today. You know what I mean? Like the game is different. You can't be barking on niggas like that today.
They got mics on the court.
Yeah, in the rim.
But damn, man. In the rim, they got mics in the rim.
That's why we got 88 clips and be like, fuck out of here, I got it.
But what's crazy, that's the stuff we love, man. We love to hear. I mean, it ain't got to be always a war, but I like when niggas just like, yo, I got your ass. So just, you know, talking shit. If I don't know, if it fired me up on the court, you know.
Yeah, like one of the best clips of like shit talking like in the game was like, I think it was like Paul Pierce and Al Harrington.
What?
Right? And Paul was coming down in like one-on-one and Al Harrington like, yeah, nigga, yeah. And Paul like, man, you can't guard me. Like, that's what I grew up on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Today is not, it's not that. You don't really see that today.
Yeah.
But that's that energy. Like when you made that comment, like that's the picture that I see in my head.
Yeah.
It used to be, I'm talking about your game. Right. Now it's like, I'm going to invite you to the Frank stand.
Yeah, it's personal.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean?
It gets personal, you know what I mean? It's still certain lines you don't cross as men. Like, you know what I mean? Like just certain lines you don't cross.
Get that.
But shit talking is...
Shit talking,
it comes with it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It comes with it. It's just that them thresholds is very thin.
Yeah. Yo, listen, on this show, we love a player comp, and Melo blew my motherfucking mind in the last episode when he said Obama's jumper looked just like Campaign's jumper. And I was like, Campaign? Out of all people, dog? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like a bit random.
You know, that's a low-key
You know what I mean? Like, that's a deep cut. That's an album cut.
Campaign is
That's how he's really watching no ball for real.
Bring back up PG, man.
Right. You know what I'm saying?
Shoot the shot.
You know what I'm saying?
Obama shit look like that. We did the comp with the picture.
Yeah.
Just
that shit. Yo. Campaigns his shot look funny though.
But see Obama picture.
But it go in.
But it go in. The shit look crazy, but it go in. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Shit.
Hey, what happened when y'all had that game at the White House? Was that incredible? Or was it?
It was a real game. It was real activity. You just couldn't foul the president.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Did he score?
Did he score?
He had 30.
Nah. He did score. Yeah,
All threes.
Little pull out. He got the little mid-range.
Was Cats sticking him at all?
They was until corner one time, boom. It's like
Secret Service back up the Draco. Like, hold on.
Like, hold on.
That's an illegal screen.
Right. Instincts kick in with professional athletes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Certain shit, we know how to get over a screen.
Yeah.
The average person don't know how to get it. We know how to use elbows. And you know what I mean?
The president like, hold up.
Wasn't ready for that.
Yeah.
So who's your player comp? You know what I'm saying? Or I want to hear the Melo because he came out with Campaign. I'm like, yo,
I want to hear his first. Though. I'm gonna see.
Who was my game like? You said, man. Well, I'm a dreamer, so I'm gonna say Kyrie, and it ain't like I ain't got that handle like that. But my game, let me think. My game is probably more like Jason Kidd, to be honest.
Jason Kidd?
Yeah, because I was like,
you got the vision.
Yeah, I'm a good passer overall. Like, and I can score. But I'm a point guard. I like making sure everybody eating. You know, everybody getting it. But then, I'm smart enough to know when it's time to score too. But I just learned that in my later years of hooping. I love to hoop, man.
Kidd,
the facilitator.
Yeah. Well, who was you? I mean, you ain't seen me hoop like that, so I guess I can't.
Them celebrity games now. You said it before. You used to get your shit off for the celebrity games. I see you throw whip wop on Arnie Duncan, nigga. Like, hold that security education.
Security education.
Arnie was there. Arnie was at the game.
Arnie was there. Yeah, Arnie be hooping.
He looked like he had the faculty game, bro. When the 8th graders play the faculty and shit.
He definitely got the.
Yeah, he averaged 60 at the White House.
Yeah. Yo, that's him.
Chucky Atkins.
Yo, another album cut, bro. Chucky Atkins. Okay.
Yo, he's saying my game like Chucky Atkins.
Yeah, Chucky was nice.
Hell no.
Chucky Atkins.
Chucky was. Yo, Melo be going in quick.
Chucky Atkins was nice.
It's an NBA play, though. It's only 400.
Nah,
like
man.
Bradley Beal said, ain't none of y'all motherfuckers.
Realistically, I'm saying realistically, not dreaming. Realistically.
I thought y'all was saying
same type of move. I seen him move before. You know what I'm saying? I seen him play on the court.
Okay. I mean, I'll take it if you gave me any NBA thing. I get it.
Nah, he no looks and you know what I mean? Dime, he wouldn't drop dimes. You know, he scored when he want to, when he have to.
Yeah.
That's his game.
Chucky.
You know what I'm saying? We just don't remember Chucky.
Right. Listen, some people do.
I got one, because I always do this, I'll be thinking about like if you had to equate a rapper to a hooper. Like, meaning, at one point Ye used to say he LeBron or whatever. And Jay was Jordan or whatever. Well, what rapper would you say is like you would equate to your game? Like
Okay.
in the rap game.
That's a hell of a question right there, Ken.
I got my answer.
Tough one. That is.
I would say Nas,
That's good. Nah, that's
a
good.
little bit of Kiss. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's
That was it. That was my answer. It was Kiss.
Kiss, yeah.
It's raw. Like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's raw, but it's finesse at the same time. You know what I mean?
yeah, but it's also
Yeah,
a different enlightenment. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's a different understanding.
I can see the blend of
You know
both
what
of
I'm
them
saying?
because Kiss is raw, but then Nas give you that
Yeah,
street, but
Let me paint a
it's
picture.
high level, paint a picture.
yeah. I mean, I never even thought about that, but just going off of vibes and what I know and like careers and music and sound and what they talk about and
Yeah,
you know what I mean, the art of it.
yeah.
It's like
I get it.
Yeah.
I be thinking when I was like, what basketball player would represent me as a rapper? I think I be going between D Wade and Barkley, and I say that because like D Wade had a lot of success too.
yeah.
But you know, like sometimes I feel like D Wade don't even get all the love he.
Oh, yeah.
You know-
It's funny. We talked
you know,
about
like,
that.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
But then he also transitioned and do other stuff, you know, and that's kind of like been my career to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And he's a Chicago dude. But then I feel like Barkley was that dude that he might not have ever won a championship, but he was the dude that, man, was an incredible player, one of the top 75. But at the same token, what he's done outside of just basketball, I mean, people know Barkley everywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and he's becoming, I mean, that man be hosting Saturday Night Live and stuff like that.
It's
Like,
a household name.
yeah.
That's what it is.
respect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nah,
that's
you
respect.
did, dog.
I'm somewhere in between that.
That's
Come on,
respect, though.
dog. Some screen
Somewhere.
albums. Come on.
Let's go.
Come on, baby. You know
That's a
what I'm
far spectrum, but yeah, I get it. D-Wade and Barkley. I get it. I get it, D-Wade. I get it.
That's a
I'm
far.
comprehending. I'm comprehending. Yeah, I
I
get
think
it.
you might be able to out-rap Charles Barkley. You know what I'm saying?
concept.
I'm going
I
on
get the
the leg.
concept.
Get the concept.
Get the
That's a
get it.
far spectrum.
So, Chicago dude, Bronx dude, Brooklyn B-more dude, real cities, you know what I mean, with
Yeah.
identities.
Yeah.
Talk about the hoops culture in Chicago versus NYC, because you've been in both, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You've been in New York. and
This is a big question.
Man,
yeah,
that
you know what I
is
mean?
like,
Because
well, for me, you know, like, I mean, I grew up and, you know, Isaiah Thomas was a guy like Mark Aguirre, Terry Cummins. It was high school dudes, these dudes, Marcus Liberty and like Lowell Hamilton and Jamie Brand. Man, we love hoop. Like, and most of the Chicago players, I realize this, a lot of them like to drive because we ain't have a lot of jump shots. It's like, I mean, some dudes did, but overall, if you look at D Rose or D Wade or Isaiah and them, they drive like for real. They go to it. I think that's the description of our game is and it's like, man, we ain't afraid to get hit. You know, like we going hard.
Yeah.
Like, you know, niggas hooped in the snow, niggas hooped when they could, wherever they could. So I feel like that grit and that realness is in our hoop games. And as far as compared to New York, I mean, y'all got legends, Carmelo, you know, Julius Erving from New York, right? And just, you know, I hear about the legends of Pee Wee Kirkland and those guys, you know, and then Kenny Andersons and those Kenny Smiths and like, I was talking to Kenny Smith 'cause I was on the plane with him and I was like, man, who was one of the best high school basketball players out of New York? And he said he thought Kenny Anderson was like up at the top.
The pinnacle.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you know, I ain't gonna sit here, I'm gonna say Chicago, we got it, but you know, of course, y'all New Yorkers, y'all gonna be like, we got it. Cause I used to love Rod Strickland too, man.
yeah, bro.
So
there's a lot of similarities in what you're saying, because it's that like, yo, I gotta go to the hoop.
Yeah.
It's a product of the environment.
Yeah, of the
you know what I mean? Because you got the
environment.
whack ass rims. You know what I'm saying? You shoot a jumper, that shit is going into the left parking lot. You know what I mean? Like
The grit is there.
the grit.
The same grit and grind and mindset.
Playing in any
of
weather.
like,
Playing in any weather, the similarity.
Yeah.
Y'all
I
remember?
always respect the Chicago players though.
Yeah.
Like hoopers.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like always.
Yeah, I feel like we bring it too. Where some of the other best hoopers y'all feel like come from?
Like Chicago, Chicago has always been on the list. Like,
Yeah, definitely.
You know,
I feel like now in modern times,
the
man.
DMV, like, you know what I mean? Like,
bro,
it
the
ain't, there's
DMV.
nothing.
Yeah.
That's like basketball. That's like the Mecca right now.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I mean?
A
The
lot of
DMV.
dudes from St. Louis. You know what I'm saying? Like that, area.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like Texas.
You know, I'm tripping because I feel like LA been producing a lot of hoop. It's a lot
Nah,
of
they
dudes
do
in the
that.
league.
Always. Yeah,
They do.
consistently.
Yeah.
That's when you really think about it.
Yeah.
Like, damn, LA do produce a lot of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Yeah.
when you really think about it. But they got a long list.
Yeah, they
But I
do.
would say now, like the DMV,
Yeah,
that cornerstone. That's
They got it.
That's the basketball.
That's what they doing out there. They hooping, man. They hooping.
Yeah.
And speaking of hooping, we watching hoops at a high level, man, because the NBA playoffs are popping off crazy right now. Series that we thought was over is not over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
know.
Things is getting tied up. We going into overtimes, man. People are getting blown out. It's going crazy all over the place. Who's some of the players right now that you're watching that you're like, yo, this is why I watch NBA basketball?
Today.
Yeah.
For me, one of my favorite players is Kyrie Irving. For me, I ain't never seen nobody with a handle that made it to the league and does what he does. But now, why I'm loving him even more is like, I feel like he is like, first of all, he playing defense in a way that he hadn't played. And then he also is like kind of controlling the game in a way. I'm watching him get everybody involved in the game. And then in the second half, he like, I'm about to go at it. And really, man, he be hitting game winners or them crucial shots. Like, man, he got that heart like that you ain't, it's just like certain players like Melo, just like certain dudes you like, they ain't afraid. You could tell from the jump, they gonna shoot that joint.
10 seconds left, give me the rock.
Give me the rock.
Yeah.
And I like his game in that way. Obviously I know it's easy to say, but Anthony Edwards been playing great. And man, that dude Shea is killing as far as just like, I'm like, okay, man, his game, because I hadn't seen a lot of their games.
Yeah, no.
And I've been hearing everybody talk about Shea, and then I was like, man, he do got it, and he is bringing the team out. Because that's one of the things for me, like, I feel like, I could see somebody doing their thing, but can they lift the team too?
Right.
And I feel like he got that thing with him. So
Shea play like, I'm gonna make another comparison, but I hate comparisons, but Shea plays like the Denver AI.
Okay.
AI he was moving smoother like that.
Yeah, he was. I mean, this is when he was averaging 27, 28. I mean, 28 at that time.
Yeah.
Like, but the movements, getting to his spot, the pace that he was playing at was totally different than what he was playing at in Philly.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but the pace that Shea playing with right now is very similar to that pace that AI was playing with in Denver. If you go back and like watch, some of the games of when AI was in Denver, you can see it's not gonna be. You're not gonna pay attention. You're gonna be like, damn, you know what? That makes sense. Like the movements, getting to your spot,
Right.
bouncing around, getting to the paint, fading off too. Like it's a lot of similarities between those two. I was actually just thinking about that.
What was AI the fastest player with the ball? You think, from the era?
Yeah, it was. He was a blur.
Was he?
It was different, bro.
Yeah, it was
like I remember because it wasn't HD back then in '96. That shit was like, you're like, oh, this nigga just crossed Jordan. Oh shit! Like, and you saw it, but you didn't really see it because it was like, it was so fast. Like, dog.
His speed was different. He
Crazy.
was fast and quick. Like, if that makes sense.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference between being fast and quick.
Yeah.
But he was both.
Dang.
Like to me, I ain't seen nobody like that. That's a combo of both. Like to me, Kyrie,
John Morant.
Yeah. Wow. He's like a stick of dynamite.
John Morant moves like that.
John's like, Yo, AI, when I was standing next to him, I was like, man, this dude ain't even taller than me. Like, he like 1 inch taller than me and was doing that. But I guess he got long arms because he was killing. He was like, I said that. I mean, obviously he was one of the best athletes. But I'm like, when I see dudes that ain't even that tall and can do score like that.
Well, I mean, he was putting fear in people.
And that's what it was. He was dunking on everybody, going crazy.
But he was just some
football player
people have it. Some people have that it factor.
When you're going to get somebody that is at your level, or you feel like, is it like do you have to prepare differently for that type of game? Like mentally, I'm saying.
It's more mental.
Yeah.
You know, it's physical too. You know what I mean? You know, let me get right.
Right.
Let me get in the weight room. Let me get, have a good day in the weight room. You know what I mean? You prepare everything accordingly, but mentally it's different because you know what level that person is coming on.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, what level he's meeting, you know what he's bringing to the table. So I got to be at that level at my base, and then I got to try to outsmart that.
What was about Kobe that you feel was like that all around? Like, because everybody that played during y'all era,
They don't have that.
Yeah. But I'm saying, what was it about him that you felt like people was like, okay, I'm going against one of the best?
It was that. It was the fact that you had to meet. He was meeting you at a certain level, so you had to be at that level coming into that game. And then on top of that, you had to win the game within the game. You know what I mean? That you had to know what he's looking at, what he's thinking about. You know, it's like a one-on-one boxer.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a boxing match.
Yeah.
You watching film on me, I'm watching every move about you, your movements, where you like to be on the court, what you like to do in the fourth quarter is totally different than what you like to do in the first quarter. How do you come out after halftime? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's your situation after timeouts? Like, it's the game within the game.
But I'm saying
that's the mental part of it, because you know they playing that same game.
So but you saying his mental was just like automatically, was it above what everybody else was doing?
I don't think it was above. I think that was his baseline of greatness. That was his baseline.
Right.
And everything above that, he knew what level to take that depending on the person. Depending on who he's going up against.
Right.
He knew what level he had to take that level of greatness up to.
Did he ever
that's like
push
you that's like you doing a show, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's different than you doing a 5,000, seater, Apollo. I mean, that's a different vibe, but just a small atmosphere like that, as opposed to you walking outside and you doing the garden.
Yeah.
Right? You know that's a different mentality that you got to prepare for. You know what I mean?
True.
It's a different level of preparation. So in some ways, it's getting ready for that.
For that, yeah.
Yo, speaking of the garden, man, we have a segment on this show that we call the 7 p.m. moment. And it's a moment in your career, in your life, where it was like, all right, Common, if we're going to do this,
it's now.
It's now. You know what I mean? Like, part those curtains, get out on stage, accept this award, whatever it was, a moment that you had where it clicked for you, where you were like, all right, like I'm here now. You know what I mean?
Well, it's two. I mean, for me, one of those moments was like, all right, we got to do this, bro. Like we got to do this. I was like on my third album, and it was like, okay, am I gonna be able to make a living doing this? Is this my career? Will I be able to really make a living? Am I gonna be an artist? Because the records wasn't selling like that, and I was getting some critical acclaim, but I'm, as Andre 3000 said, if you don't move your feet, then I don't eat. So we like neck to neck. So I was like trying to live, check to check, like at that point. And the R.A. Common moment came for me when I was like, man, I came to visit New York, and I was planning on staying here for like 2 weeks and going back to Chicago. And I got here, and I just started like connecting with dudes, like hitting up Nas or talking to Primo, and I started making being around that. And I was like, I need to be here to just like elevate myself, like be around even almost what we just talked about, like get around that mentality that these dudes is making records that are successful,
right? And
they banging. So I just needed to get around that. Not that we weren't doing what we were doing, but it was like getting around people and being in the faces of people. That was a life changer for me, coming to New York and being able to be here and just be around different artists and people. Not even just on the music side. I was around people that paint and people that's doing clothing design. So it was sparking me as an artist.
Right.
That's what New York brings so much culture and art, man. If you're an artist, it's gonna like it's gonna cultivate you. It's gonna bloom you and blossom you. So that was that for me. And then performing at the Oscars with John Legend, we did the song "Glory" for the movie Selma. That was like, man, because it was. I remember before I went on stage, the producer of the movie was like, she said, "Man, you ready to go on in front of these hundreds of millions of people, however many people was watching?" And I was like, for a second, I was like, "Why you say that to me?" But then I was like, "Man, I'm ready. I'm ready." And I did everything I don't know what y'all do to prepare or what you do to prepare for a game, but I did everything I need to do to prepare. That was when I started being like, yo, I gotta have my space. I gotta be able to center myself. I'm gonna say my prayers. I got all my stuff ready. I ate the food that I wanted to eat. And I went into that performance and was just like, man, I'm gonna be present. I ain't gonna be thinking about what's gonna happen later, what's happened in the past. I'm gonna be present. And it ended up being one of the best performances I ever had, and we had, and we lit it up. So that was one of them moments for me.
It's like, yo, I'm coming now, baby.
Yeah.
I'm coming.
That's a different mindset too that we were just talking about.
Yeah, that's a different mindset
right?
for sure.
You're going to perform for Selma,
right?
And the timing of that record.
Yeah,
it really matters.
Right. It was all about timing. So the energy that was behind that record.
Yeah, that timing.
You had to perform.
That's real. What you just said is because that was right when Michael Brown had got killed, and it was a lot going on. From that time, it was a lot of us just getting killed by the police, and it was like, man, we speaking for something bigger than us.
Right.
John and I knew, we was like, man, this ain't about us. Yeah, we want these awards, but it's bigger than us. And then to be representing the people of, the civil rights movement who did all that work, whether it was Dr. King and this lady Diane Nash and Amelia Boynton and all, to Malcolm X, people in the Panthers, we felt like we was representing Black people, representing God, representing the women and men who did that. So it was just bigger than us. And we did have to get into that mentality, okay, or just being yo, this ain't about us. Let's go light it up for a higher calling.
That's the mature comment.
Yeah, that's the mature.
Take me back to the New York. I just got to New York, and you mentioned a lot of legendary people, man.
Yeah.
Primo, Nas.
Yeah.
Tell me about the situation, man. Where yo, I'm in the studio with Primo, and he played me Mass Appeal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, I like it, but yo, can you add an extra hi-hat?
Well, I mean, really, let me tell you, for the first time I was getting to work with Primo, I mean, I've been waiting to try to get a Primo beat. It was you gotta wait. And it was a dream of mine to work with Premier. And, it was a few months before we got to it. And then I finally got the beat. He had chopped it up and he told me to go to D&D, the studio, and he got the beat there waiting for me. So I went in there and I had, he had sent me the beat a little bit. Then I was ready to go lay it. And I went in and laid my rhyme and stuff. And he wasn't there. And then I had Bilal, the singer Bilal, sing on this joint. And Preem, I guess his engineer told him I had some singer up there. And Preem called me like, man, I don't know what you got a singer. Because he like, what you doing with this? This is some real hip hop. We don't want no singer. And then he heard what Bilal did and was like, oh shit, yeah, this is it. Then they ended up using Bilal on one of their songs, Gangstar did. Yep. So that was dope, man. That was a dope thing for me. And even me and Ice Cube, that's my, we good now. But the first time, when I came to New York and the song "The Bitch in You," which was the Ice Cube battle with me and Cube, man, a lot of producers didn't want to produce that because they was like, man, we ain't going against Cube, blah blah blah.
Yo, you wild, bro.
But you tripping? They like you tripping, bro. So, but P Rock was like, yo, I'm with it. Just on some hip hop. He wasn't, he was just like, yo, I'm. And I remember him.
Spirit of the game type shit.
Yeah, spirit of the game. I remember he took me, out Mount Vernon and we went to this Jamaican spot, got some food. And then he said, he was just telling me the story. He's like, man, you was heated, bro. And that's what I was just nice, drinking beers and like, yo, I gotta light this dude up. Cause at the time, Cube and them was just continuing to talk yeah, Common said this about the West Coast. I'm like, man, I got love for the West Coast. So anyway, going out to Pete Rock's, his homie's crib, and he made this beat for the Bitchin' You. And man, I remember hearing that beat, and I was like, man, I'm about to light this up. And then I ended up writing a second verse to that beat. And man, that was a good time. That was a good time for me.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
But the Bitchin' You was crazy.
Yeah. Nah, and it's, how do you feel about that song being mentioned, man? Because obviously we're in the midst of the Drake Kendrick. You know what I'm saying? Apparently it's over. Both parties have declared the war over.
The war is over.
The war is over.
It was a good heavyweight fight.
You know what I'm saying? 12 rounds went to the cars, whatever. But as somebody that has battled, you know what I mean? Like the Ice Cubes, the Drakes, you know what I mean? The big pop.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm, at the end of the day, I'm a warrior too. You know what I'm saying? Like, meaning I'm from the South Side of Chicago. If you, at a certain point, if you like, just come at me, I'm gonna defend myself, and I'm gonna go at you. I'm gonna fight to kill, John Wick style. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, like, because I felt good that we kept it just on wax. We kept it on wax. But it was getting to that point. And it was getting to that point with me and Cube, because, they just was looking at me like, oh, Common just a backpack dude. But then, we had a little confrontation in Atlanta, and this was like 95. And like I said, me and Cube, it's all love. Mac 10 and them, it's all love now. But at that point, it was like we had a little confrontation. And I was like, man, this might get ugly. Yeah. And thank God for Minister Farrakhan, because like at that time, it was Biggie had just passed, obviously Pac passed before him. And it was just like, man, you don't know who gonna do what. Like,
it's Chicago, LA, dog.
Like, it's Chicago, LA.
Different.
And LA ain't no joke. And Chicago ain't no joke. So it's like, you don't know who gonna do what. So I was glad we just kept it on the mic. And but my thing about being a warrior is like, yo, when I first heard the diss that Cube and them did, I was like, man, first of all, I was like, damn, Cube know who I am. I was like, damn, I can't believe you know who I am. But
once you get out the shock.
I was like, Cube know. And then I was like, okay, damn, why are you saying I'm dissing the West Coast? I don't understand that. Then I was like, oh, I got to figure out if I go diss them back. But then I saw them talking a little bit on the on Big Les on the Rap City, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to go at them. And it's just, for me, the battle is the battle. I'm glad that we could keep it on wax, and then we keep it moving.
I'm glad you brought that up.
When in battling, is it a criteria that you have to have?
Hell yeah. For me, it's
what is as a hip hop original, you stamped
MC,
you're stamped in the hip hop history, culture.
Yeah.
What is the criteria?
Well, in a battle, man.
And not to cut you off, is there a too far? Because that's been brought up a lot.
Okay.
Yo, you going too far? You doing too much?
Yeah, listen, in a battle, first of all, I think the criteria is you gotta have lyrics that is like saying something that's like, man, I'm lighting this nigga up.
So
like lyricism is there. Like, just it's gotta be lines that punch. They punch. Like, you gotta hit. And they gotta, and I like wordplay with that too. Like, but if what you're saying is just clever and it's got punch, to me, that's part of it. Then part of it is like where I feel like Kendrick and these guys was taking it, and is they style like I was like, damn, these dudes styling with the, because usually when cats get into a battle, they just rapping
it's raw,
regular style. Boom. But these dudes were styling, so I felt like they was really like, it was a real bout with them, with Kendrick and Drake. But that being said, in any battle, you gotta, if you could drop styles on that shit, because that's what KRS was doing too back in the day with Boogie Down Productions. Yeah, he was dropping styles and dissing, like you couldn't help but say, like, what's the matter with you? So that's another level. And I still think choosing a dope beat matters too, because you want people to be like, just rocking that shit, like boom, like
DJ throw it on in the club type shit.
Yeah, like if you can get it in the club, that's a win-win. but you want niggas to be like, okay, damn, this beat cold. Like I think Jay did good when he was choosing ROC is running that beat was don't. That shit was yo. So I think that's some of the things that now is it a too far? I feel like for me the too far is like when you talk about people that have died, or like if somebody's family members died and or they dealing with a terminal sickness. I think that's for me. That's just me.
Family is off limits.
Yeah. I mean, when it come to that level, I ain't gonna really go too much at family, but I did. I guess I ain't gonna be a hypocrite. I did on the Drake joint said something about, but I was playing on words. Yeah. Saying son of a bitch, something your father is, but I didn't think about going to the family because I wasn't. For me, I ain't have all that information and all that. No, right. But I gotta say, with the stuff they did, I wasn't like, yo, for me, I wasn't like, this is too far. I just was like, damn, this is really incredible battle.
You said, damn,
ain't no rules in war.
Right.
It's a war. It's a war.
No rules in war.
Yeah.
What's the key for all the young MCs out there watching? Because there's a lot of y'all. I see y'all freestyling in the comments. All right? You know what I'm saying? What's the one key takeaway from this?
From the battle? Yeah. I think, man, if you get into something, know what you're getting into, and be prepared. And like, man, you do want to size up who you're going up against to know, like, am I ready for this war? It's something in the Bible that say, man, don't go against an army if you only got like 10 and they got 10,000. You got to size it up and say, I ain't ready for that war. Yeah. But this battle was, to me, was a heavyweight because it was like they was going back and forth. They was doing what they, I respected each, what each one delivered. And I think, to me, no matter what, it's like, have you worked on your craft? Have you worked on like being a real MC? Because that's when it's needed. Like you could be a hit maker and be like, make joints that we all love. But when it get to the battle, you gotta have lyrics. Yeah. And that's what I gotta say. Both Kendrick and Drake delivered lyrics in this battle.
Bars.
It was bars, man. That you say that you be like, yo, you heard this person say that? Yo, you said that, and that's what we loved in hip hop from the beginning. And I think it'll always be there. So I think it's just to the youngins, it's like, man, work on them lyrics, man. Make sure you can go to a place where if they ain't got no music and it's just people standing around from different walks of life, that you could kick a rhyme a cappella and niggas gonna respond.
Oh shit.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, Funk Flex is gonna be like, that's motherfucking bars.
Another thing, speaking on that, right? On lyrics and being original and understanding situations. Shout out to Pete Rock. You about to do an album with Pete Rock.
Yes, sir, man.
So I know what type of time it is when you and Pete Rock link up. Like I saw an interview when you got excited about this next album coming with Pete Rock.
I'm about to smoke 2 ounces to that shit.
Is it because of the timing? Is it because of the type of zone that you're in, the type of zone that Pete Rock is in? Yeah. Because it's all about timing.
That is very true. I think you hit it. The timing, for me, like, the best music I did is when I'm like just the most inspired and I'm kind of at home, meaning home is like boom bap for me. Hip hop is home, and Pete Rock, like this whole 50-year, the 50-year celebration of hip hop really, it reinvigorated me about just how much I love the culture of hip hop. Like, I was at that New York Yankees the Yankee Stadium game.
Yeah, dog.
I was at that concert I stood in the crowd for 5.5 hours just watching Mobb Deep, watching Lil' Kim, watching Snoop, watching EPMD,
Red and
Nas, and Red and Meth, Ghostface. I was like, man, and I was just like, I felt the joy of what this music is, and seeing like all these people in Yankee Stadium enjoying it. I was like, man, it's still an appetite for hip hop. It is, and even like me at being in the game for as long as I have, I was like, if I deliver something that I know what niggas like as far as lyrics, I know what I like as far as lyrics, and I got Pete Rock beats, it's some people out there that'll want that. And Pete, one of the things is when I connected with him, it just took me back to, we ain't make music that's like, oh, this throwback music, but it took me back to the creativity of like just being like, man, he listening to a record. Oh, we gonna sample this. I get the beat and go start writing. Then he start building and putting some scratches to it. Yo, that brought her like a love that I'm like, oh man, I forgot how this feel like. And that's what, to me, the best music is about, a feeling, man. Like it's like, more than sales or more than like who you got on the track. It's like, what does this music feel like? Like when I put on music, I want to feel something. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like what we created is the boom bap soulful music that Pete Rock, it don't sound like no throwback. It sounds like fresh and now, but it's got the spirit of what he had created from back then and in the 90s, but it's new and it's fresh. And I'm geeked up. We releasing our single real soon, and man, he created we got something, bro.
Yeah, shout out to Pete Rock.
Because he's one of them, like you said, like he's one of them rare ones that can do a sound that feels familiar, but it sounds new. Yeah, if that makes sense. You know what I'm saying? Like, sure. It feels like, yo, this feels new. Like that's what I was like. I got around him and was like, he was playing me different beats, and I was like, man, you forget that this dude is timeless. Some people got a timeless sound to them, you know, and Primo beat always gonna go.
Yo, Primo,
Pete
man,
Rock beat always gonna go.
Yo, Pete Rock,
you know the Pete Rock sound.
Yeah, yes sir.
You know that.
Yes sir.
I'm excited for that project.
Man, thanks, bro. I'm geeked. I can't wait to.
I was just listening to Ghostface got an album out right now.
Yeah.
With that vibe though.
Yeah.
Like today, but with that soulful.
Yeah.
Like,
Ghost.
That album is crazy.
Ghost be going to the soulful places. Yeah. He was one of the dudes that, like, from the beginning, the Wu obviously brought that, but to hear that now, man. I was listening to some of his joints. It's like, oh man, yeah, this. When Griselda and them cats is like, they drop music, you like,
they got that too.
People like that soulful hip hop that's just raw and beats and rhymes. And man, Ghostface, he always delivered. That is crazy. So I'm looking forward to the common Pete Rock.
You know what I'm saying?
He's looking good.
And he a Knicks fan.
That, you know what I'm saying? Cop it on vinyl.
Pete Rock a diehard Knicks fan. He be wilding on it.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
Yo, he a super Knicks fan, yo. He be like, yo.
He comment under everybody.
Yo, Pete always got it. Yo, Pete be like, yo, Knicks, the Knicks.
All day, baby. Shout out to Pete, man.
Yeah, shout out to Pete, for sure.
All right, man. So listen, we got the Sprite segment. It's a special moment, you know what I'm saying? It's presented by Sprite. We take a look back at influential moments of hip hop. Yeah. Obviously, you know what I mean? Like we said up top, you one of them guys that's been a through line.
Give thanks.
You know what I'm saying?
Thanks,
through the history of hip hop. September 94, you dropped Used to Love Her. Staple, classic. 30 years later, still goes off. You know what I mean? Movies have based the plots on this song. You know what I mean? Like when you look at that, like that era of creating that song and that music, that vibe, what's the thing that you miss the most about it?
Man, I think for me it was like a innocence and a purity in writing that at that time, because you don't know as much. It's like all you know is you just want to be dope and you want to say something fresh. I wanted like De La Soul and KRS to know who I was. Right, I wanted, that was part of the drive. And for me, I think, once you experience a lot of the industry and go through a lot of stuff, you can lose your drive for the art of making the music. You know what I'm saying? Because there's so much other political stuff that drains you, and you're like, man, I ain't inspired by that. But you had those moments where you remember why you loved it and what you came into the culture for and what it meant to you. And like, thank God, like I've been able to have another one of those moments. So that's why I'm excited about the music I'm doing now. But I did love like, at that time, I ain't know do a 16-bar verse. I ain't even know, like, I just was rhyming. Rhyming. I'm learning about, what song structure is. It's kind of fun to not know everything and just be free in the writing like that. So I miss that. And I just miss being able to take a record up to a radio station. If the DJ like it, he or she could just put that joint on. That don't exist no more. Like, it's a whole nother political game.
And did you know that joint was gonna, like the theme of it, like the the double entendre.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was going to hit like the way it did.
When I wrote that song and I was like, using hip hop as a woman, and at the time I'm like 19 or 20 somewhere, my homie I remember looking at my homie through the booth while I was rapping. I was sitting down rapping it, blah, blah, blah. And he was scrounging up his face like, why this dude talking about this girl? Like, cause we was young niggas and he like, why is he doing this love song?
Talk about how fresh you is. Talk about how ill you rap.
And he like, why is he doing this? And then when I got to the end, he just like covered his face like, oh shit. Bro. And that, for me, that kind of gave me a signal like, man, some people go respond to this.
Yeah.
Like because he was the audience. We all grew up listening to the same hip hop. What I thought was dope, he kind of thought was dope. So the way he responded, I was like, man, that's what I wanted. I wanted something like, as an MC, I wanted to do something that was like, man, different, but also just still grounded in hip hop. And I don't know, later on I started loving movies like The Usual Suspects and different movies that like where you don't even know the ending. Yeah. And that's how I felt I used to love it wasn't. But at the time I can't front, I never knew that, like you said, that they eventually like would write a movie. Brown Sugar was based on I Used to Love Her. And that people would bring that up later, but you just write from the place of like, man, I want to write this story. This means something to me. Oh damn, this dope. I'm gonna use a woman to represent hip hop. And they might not know till the end of the song. That's all I really wanted to do, but I'm grateful that we could talk about it 30 years later.
Hey, bro. Young Merle heard, because who I'm talking about, y'all, is hip hop, and was like,
come on, bro. That's what we need to do.
Bro.
Yo, Broadway.
You said, that's a dope play. You said, let's go get the team.
Let's get it.
That'd be a dope play, though, man.
No, that would be dope.
100%.
That would be dope. We got to work on something like that.
We're taking a brief break from today's episode to let you know that Prize Picks got you covered when it comes to helping you make some bread.
It's almost conference finals time, and Prize Picks is the easiest and most exciting way to turn every game-changing moment into 100 times your money. With as little as 4 correct picks, you can turn $10 into 1,000. Goddamn.
Prize Picks also allows you to pick combo projections across baseball and basketball, with specials, so you can support all your teams while still cashing in.
Matter of fact, I got a couple projections in mind already. Mello, here's a couple more or less options for you, my guy.
Okay.
All right? More or less. 35 points for Ant Edwards against the Nuggets. Ant-Man.
More.
More than 35?
More than 35.
He's going in. Ant-Man's going in. Lock that in. All right, next one. More or less. 10 rebounds for Josh Hart.
Yeah.
Against the Pacers.
More.
Yeah, let's go, baby. Yeah, you see how easy that was, man? Make sure you visit prospects.com/7pm and use our promo code 7pm. Don't use nobody else's for a deposit match up to $100.
Everyone's got a thirst, you know that. A drive to be the next big thing, to put the world on notice. And if you answer when your thirst calls, then Sprite is for you.
It is, man. Sprite's for the makers and the creators. You know what I mean? The visionaries putting in work into their dreams. Whether you're shooting a cinematic masterpiece on your phone,
filling notebooks with sketches, or up all night turning your bedroom to the booth. Keep going, thirst is everything.
Mm-hmm. Sprite's made for those who have a thirst for success and are working on turning their dreams into reality. So keep going and remember to be true to yourself.
Obey your thirst. Sprite.
No ID, another Chi-Town legend. Y'all came in the game perfectly, like peanut butter and jelly.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Do you remember him bringing up a young Kanye West, being like, yo, this guy with the polo shirt?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely, so me, just
he from around the way.
So me and No ID, like, I knew him since 4th grade, right? So he was the first producer. Him and Twilight Tone was my first producers.
In 4th grade, he was producing? I think he was playing, he used to play saxophone or something like that. So he was into music, but he wasn't producing yet. But by the time we got to high school, he started producing. So once we started releasing records, round after Resurrection, he brought this young dude around. He was like, man, this my guy Kanye. His mother teaches at the same school. I'm trying to, show him. So Ye would come around and be like bringing samples, bringing beats.
and like bringing his beats to play and like sitting there learning from Dion, from No ID. And man, he was dope. He was real dope. And at some point, he would always want to challenge me because I was one of the only guys from Chicago that was out on a national level.
Right.
So he would come around to my basement and we'd rhyme against each other. And we even got a battle on this college radio station that came out. I mean, nobody really won. I was drunk. He wasn't drinking at that point, but it wasn't the best of our battles. But that being said, he would come around. What was crazy about Ye though, he always would talk shit. Like he would say stuff to my homies like, man, I don't like them pants and blah blah blah. And my homies be like, man, I'm gonna smack you. I'm ready to fight your ass. I'd be like, chill out. He's one of them dudes. He different. Yeah. But everybody started to love him and embrace him, and he just was this real like talented. But you know how he just speak his mind like a little kid kind of like you'd be like, and like when people ain't used to that, they like you
make
gotta
you
be
uncomfortable.
Like, you like, hey bro, like he cool. So it was that, but. We started to love him. He our brother. And then eventually, he started doing his thing, man. And it's crazy because I didn't take any Ye beats like in that 96, 97 when I met him era. But then in 2003, I'm like, Ye, let me get some beats. Like, come on. But I felt like at the time, like, No ID was just such at a higher level that it just was like, Ye, these beats ain't doing it for me yet. Like, you there, you getting there, but it ain't there yet.
You was accustomed to something.
What was one that you heard? Maybe it was even an unreleased joint that you heard that you were like, all right, bro. All right, you there.
Well, I mean, I can remember more. Like, I mean, he definitely had some joints, man. He did some stuff for, it was a group that Shauna that used to rap with Ludacris, that he had produced some dope joints for them. But more than anything, I can recall joints that, I got more memories of joints I passed on, beats that he made for me that ended up being like that song I Wouldn't Get Far. I think it was, who made that?
Ooh.
And then Dreams by Game.
Yeah.
And even some of Kanye's, like that song on a lot of his late registration album, I Wonder, or even this song I Heard Him Say. He made that beat for me. He made that beat for I was
like, hold on. And you said I'm good? Or you were like, or he was just like, hold on, I wasn't ready, man.
It was one of those things.
That's crazy.
Let me tell you, it was like, damn. It was like, he made that beat.
Shit.
And that beat I was like, this beat dope. This beat dope. And then I was like, he said, man, you want it? I was like, man, I gotta, because it didn't feel like it was fitting my album, the album beat. It wasn't fit. So I was like, nah, you good. He's like, wait, he said, you want it? And I said, nah. He said, are you sure? I was like, nah, I'm good. I promise you, he wrote that song in 10 minutes. He Heard Him Say in 10 minutes. I sat there and watched this man write the song. He had just made the beat and he wrote the song, the whole song. I said, whew. I said, yo, this was meant for you. It was just meant for you. Cause I can't front. I wasn't gonna do what he did to that beat, and sometimes you gotta know that, like, but as I look back, that beat was cold. Like I heard him say, I wonder was dope, man. It's at least 10 Ye beats out there that I passed on. Even on one of those albums, he like passed on the beat. I turned it to a jam.
Yeah.
Everything I'm not, maybe everything I am.
Oof.
Yeah, I done passed on some beats, bro.
You ever go in the crib and you got the home studio, you just freestyle over them shits? 2 in the morning.
I rhymed over.
That's why. Like, yo, you know what?
I should have did this.
That's taking it back though.
Yeah, that's taking it back.
Mixtape days.
Jacking for beats.
Exactly.
Jacking for beats,
shit, bro.
Yeah. But yo, man, like I said earlier, man, 30 years in the game, still going strong. Joe Pete Rock coming. Filmography's deep. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
The IMDb, man, check it the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Man's out here doing everything. You know what I mean? He's a sniper. He's a two guard. He's everything. You know what I mean? Like he's out here doing everything. You know what I mean? So 30 years of experience, man. Like, what are the real keys to not only longevity, man? Because you can stay in the game 100 years. You know what I'm saying? But like staying in the game and staying true to yourself, as corny as it sounds like, but staying true to yourself and not playing yourself in the pursuit of
greatness.
I think man, you gotta know yourself, know thyself, man, is important. And that don't mean the self don't evolve and change either. Because if I look at myself when I released my first album, I was just a young 19-year-old kid from Chicago. I hadn't been exposed to certain things. So I'm gonna give you what I am at that time. But I think that one of the keys, and I don't have all the keys to what that is, but I think part of it is being open to seeking things. Like, you gotta be a seeker. Like, that curiosity is important. Like, for me, it was going out, starting to read the Bible and the Quran. I was already like, and then reading books of Buddhism, and then reading like getting information, but then just traveling, I started meeting people and understanding different things about people. So seeking is important, and I think a certain a level of humility is needed, because you don't know everything. And you might be at the top at one point or have a successful project, but man, this is an ebb and flow of careers and life. And it's some moment you're gonna go down like this and go up and go down.
And you gotta figure it out.
You gotta figure it out and figure out how to be true to where you are at that time and acknowledge where you are, but still have like new visions and new goals. Like, I didn't know I was gonna be acting when I first started rapping. I loved theater, I loved movies, but man, it was like that opportunity when somebody who was my A&R at my label was like, I got an acting coach, you wanna work with her? Like, yeah. And when I went in that class, I was like, I could do this. This is something I really love and I could do, but I gotta work at the craft. Then things start to expand, but I also, what I'm saying about this is when it comes to like having a long career, to me, it's like, you gotta also pursue things with love and with passion. If I didn't love acting, I wasn't gonna do it, because it's an art form, it's a craft, it's something that people put years and years and decades into. And when we see high level films and plays, them actors put that work in. I don't deserve to be on the court, be in the film, be on that if I ain't put that work in. So I knew I could put the work in. And I think that's another component. It's like having that seeking, that humility, and being able to put work in, like continuing to work. But when you love it, it ain't work all the time.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm about to say, doing a John Wick movie gotta be fun as fuck.
Yeah, that shit fun. That shit fun. But they train your ass from the basic. Like, you working like 3 or 4 months doing fight training. Like, they take you back to like, okay, throw a punch. And you used to throwing a punch like the way you grew up throwing a punch. But then they show you, okay, no, you throw a punch. And they get you into that boxing mode. They was doing stuff like, I love training with them for John Wick, because it's the highest level of action. I gotta shout them out, because they the highest level when it comes to action movies and fight sequences. Chad and his partner Dave and that whole thing. But anyway, they was making me work on the foot ladder, just getting my feet together, like exercising in that way. And I was like, man, if I'm gonna train and do this, I gotta do it at the highest level.
Gotta lock in.
Lock in. And I love getting to put that work in, but it ain't no joke, because you get on that set and you done coordinated the fight, and then they want to change it, so you got to be in tune. And it's 4 a.m, and you like, shit, okay, because you're gonna get knocked up if you ain't doing it right. So anyway, I like putting in that work, but it's real work though.
And you got to meet John Wick.
Yeah,
where he at.
Exactly. That's what you're talking about. Exactly. You gotta meet him where he at. You know what I'm saying? And he ain't, that dude Keanu Reeves, he ain't.
This is what I'm trying to say. You gotta meet him.
You gotta meet him, bro. Yeah. And that's what for me, I was born like, I grew up feeling like, man, I want to be around the best at that level, so I can like work to get to that level.
Facts.
You know?
John Wick.
People be coming to me like, why did he kill you? I said, my character ain't dying, John Wick. He just stayed on the train with a knife in his heart. And John Wick told him, don't turn the knife. So hopefully they'll bring me back for another one.
Hey,
who knows?
Bring him back, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Key component. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
All right, man. 03. Jay-Z dropped a Black album.
Uh-oh.
And he said, I used to rap like Common Sense. Then I sold 5 mil. I ain't rap like Common Sense. Where was Common at when he first heard that lyric? And how did you take that? Was you just like, man, fuck out of here? Or did you hit the 50? Man, what the fuck? What the fuck you say fuck me for?
No, I was in Brooklyn when I heard that. And man, I was kind of geeked because, you know, at the end of the day, when Jay-Z say certain things, people respond, and the truth of the matter, it was some people that didn't fuck with Common or didn't listen to Common. Yeah. For him to even say, like, truthfully, I want to rhyme like Common Sense, some people are like, damn, why are you saying that? Let me listen to Common. Yeah, like
he really bigged you up.
It was a big up, and
in his way.
Yeah, he bigged it up in his way. So I ain't take it to heart. I looked at it like it was a plus. And I mean, I remember I went to the Black album. That was the Black album, right? Yeah, that was Black album. And I went to that concert at Madison Square Garden where it was going to be one of his last. And I remember being geeked that he said that, like, in the rap. And, you know, my cousin and them were calling me like, Jay shouted you out. So I never took it as a really a diss. And, you know, when it's coming from one of the greatest, him saying truthfully you want to rhyme like you, that's saying something.
That's a big,
yeah.
It's like, yo, I wish I could rap like this guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But then after that comes B.
Yeah.
Which is like, you know, critically acclaimed, you know what I mean? When people put it in there. No, when you go on the streaming joints and you go into This Is Common.
Yeah.
There's at least 4 joints off of B on there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least.
Yo.
You know what I mean? What was that like? You know what I mean? Putting that joint together. Because it's to me, it's like I don't even want to call it a throwback, but like it's a cohesive album that you just hit play on and go. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like there's a lot of, not that they don't make them no more, but there's less emphasis on that.
Yeah, no, I mean, one of the things I strive to do, I don't always hit that mark, but I always want to create an album, like a whole body of work, like this, that like you could put on and go to different places with the music. Like when we was working on B, and when I say different places, you know, different emotions, you feel different things. Like sometimes you want the joint to make you like, feel like you're ready to fight. Sometimes you want the joint to make you just relax your mind. And sometimes you want some music you feel good when you clean it up. You know, like I like trying to give a whole like picture when I deliver an album. But with B, it was a real crucial time because I just come out with an album that people was like, hell no, because I did this album Electric Circus, which was real eccentric. I was listening to Jimi Hendrix and like Pink Floyd. So my music, like I said, I'm gonna be true to where I am.
Yeah.
So that album, even I wasn't getting no critical acclaim, and the hip hop audience was like, "Oh man, what is this?" So then I was like, I'm about to show niggas, and I kind of was in that space of like, man, I'm an MC, and being around Ye was one of those things that I felt like I was getting a boom bap, but it was elevated because Ye make good songs. He know how to make really good songs. Yeah. Like he know how to the right hooks, and he just know like he's a masterful song maker.
Throw a bridge in there.
Yeah, no, he just had vision like that. Anyway, just me being in the rap space I was, and him having the beats, and part of that for me, part of that album too was us just connecting as brothers, and I would bring certain samples to him and he'd listen through, and then I'd be, and he'd make it and be like, yo, I'd be like, that's it. So it was like, to me, that's some of the best albums that I've been able to really make is when I'm around the producer and we just bonding, and because that's part of the process. It's like having a teammate, you know. It's things that we probably haven't seen that, you know, you just connect with your teammates in those moments, whether it's going out to dinner, hanging out, whatever y'all do, like that, we had those times. So it made the album be that much more alive. And man, I was just ready to deliver a classic. I felt like, man, B was one of them albums for me where I really come into my own as far as like owning who I am and being like, you know what, I believe in myself. And this is a classic album. And I'm gonna say that. And I started saying that to people, you know, and grateful that people responded to it in that way. And that's when I first got to, you know, really actually meet Melo and connect with Melo. We did a Brand Jordan thing that was
a video.
Yeah, the video was
for B.
For B, bro. Like I had to, and for me to have Melo, like, and be around. That was another level for me.
But that's interesting though to hear that again from his perspective, because coming off of Electric Circus, right, and then leading into 2003, when the Jordan campaign hit, it was like you felt the different energy that you was carrying. It was almost like a new beginning for you.
It was a new beginning
at that point, which is why B is so powerful. Yeah, because it was like the beginning of something that was something new, a new energy. So the collaboration with me coming into the league that year, and then where he was going, that almost starting this new journey in his life and his career. The video, the shoot was crazy. We shot it in where we was at. We was in the Star thing. We was in Bed-Stuy.
Oh yeah, in Bed-Stuy.
Yeah, we shot at the little coffee shop right there on Broadway.
We
was in the sneaker store over there by Marcy. Tom, Dick, and Harry's over there. We was over
video, man. Throw the video,
man.
That's the vibes of it. That video right there, like the energy around that, and it's interesting hearing you speak from your perspective on it.
But what you just said just summed it up. It's like that was truly a new beginning, and like you just coming in the league, it was just a synergy around all of what we was doing, and it was like, man, I just felt right. And point blank, when my guys see I got Melo in the video, it's like, shit, it's another level.
It's up now.
But we felt the same way. Yeah. Like shit, we shoot the Common video in Brooklyn, in the Star, like on Broadway, like.
Yeah, that's
come on. That was a different energy. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that was kind of the first time of me being in almost a situation like that, being around an artist like Common, being a part of almost their rollout to their project.
That was.
That was a rollout plan. Yeah. For the Jordan Common B rollout plan.
That was when they used to do them shit.
We might need you for the new Pete Rock rollout.
Listen, let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
I'll pop up too then. Let's get it, bro.
Pete know what time it is.
Let's go. Pete, holla at your boy, man. As soon as right there, you know what time it is, man. Come on, stop playing. Mount Vernon,
Mount Vernon. Yes, sir.
But oh man. So man, I said it before, man, but like true multi-hyphenate. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people be like, I'm a multi-hyphenate because I done did stand up one time. You know what I mean? And I got a mixtape and shit. But you really did the damn thing in those respective areas, man. Like what was the evolution of Common the actor? You know what I'm saying? Like when you popped out, first of all, what was the inspiration for it? Like you were saying it was an acting coach?
Yeah. Well, for me, it was like kind of getting that rejection of like, man, we ain't feeling that Electric Circus. I honestly, even really before that.
But not to control. The whole hood was calling that like, sleeveless hoodie Common. Sleeveless hoodie Common. The hood was not here for sleeveless hoodie Common. We wanted Common back.
Not only was y'all hood, but my hood, my cousins, everybody.
Sleeveless hoodie with the new cap, bro. They was blaming Erica Badu, man. It was going crazy. Everything was going crazy.
I mean, she took all the heat for that, man. It's crazy, bro. But listen, I was like,
But you came back with B like,
I had to come back, man. It ain't, when you about it, you just gotta, take the ups and downs as it comes. But for me, that was my evolution. That's me being true to myself. And I was also like strong enough to be like, all right, y'all can talk shit about me, but this is who I am. I'm about to put this crochet on. I'll put this crochet on. Y'all can laugh, whatever.
I still agree.
Exactly.
My man used to clown me with that. I used to be if I be on the phone with Shorty Jones and this shit, like I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. He be in the back like, oh, your eyes still green, girl. I'm like, you motherfucker, sleeveless hoodie bastard. Goddamn it. Come back and some shit.
Hey, I just was like, listen. If I'm feeling it, I'm about to do it. Like it was.
Fuck it, you got to.
That's what it is. It has to be true. But as far as getting into acting, see, I was like, man, hip hop for me was like, okay, I feel like I can't be as free as I want to be. I can't do all the things that I like, but you can. But at that time, I felt that way, and I was like, okay, man, what else is out there for me as an artist? Like this, something artistic to do. And I went to the acting class and I was like, oh, this is it right here. Cause I was trying other things. Like I was trying to do other artistic things and it wasn't working.
Is the sculpting and shit?
I was trying to play keys. I was like, okay, D'Angelo can do it. I can do it. No, seriously, I knew I could be.
He was in discovery mode.
That was a discovery. I mean, I knew I couldn't be no D'Angelo. I'm just talking shit, but I was like, let me try these, And it just didn't come as natural. Right. So then in the acting class, I was like, yo, this feel right. So I really just started pursuing, like I said, the craft of it. And just before I went to try to get in any movies, I just was going to class. And I can remember being on tour. I was on tour with Primo, with Gangstar, and Kanye. Kanye was actually on tour. Like it was me, Gangstar, Talib Kweli, and Kanye would hop on Kweli's set, like where they were opening up for me. And Kanye was part of them opening up for me. I'm like, how it's crazy how shit was. But anyway, I was on that tour, but every time I would come back, I'm going to acting class. So it let me know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And it wasn't just, to me, some people ask, man, about like, man, how you know this? And it ain't just only the work and the passion. You do got to have a gift in that area too. Like, because people tell me like, oh man, you're a rapper, so of course you're going to be able to act. No, that ain't true. No, that ain't the way it is.
Total opposite.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like, it's this own art form. It's own like discipline. And that being said, from going to them classes, I started going on auditions. I say I went on about 20 some auditions and didn't get no roles or whatever. And then I got cast in the show Girlfriends, just doing like playing a poet. So it was kind of not, it was a great opportunity, but it wasn't like me getting to do a different type of character.
Right.
But then I got my first call back. I tried out for this movie and I got a call back. And I was like, oh shit. In fact, the audition before the call back, they told my agent, oh, he too green. He green, like inexperienced. Right. He can't do this. So I was like, the next audition, I'm about to get this. And then I auditioned, I got the call back. Then they said, okay, we want to see you again. And I was coming from China, flew over from China, layover in France, got to the audition. I was looking at that audition, like looking in the room where we was auditioning. I was seeing all this stuff that it take to make a movie. I was like, I got to get this role. And I just, bodied. I did my thing in the audition. And the director was like, man, you rocked that audition, because I didn't really want to put two artists in this film. The movie was called Smoking Aces. Yeah. And it was a movie, like he had Alicia Keys in that joint. And he had Taraji, and he had that. Yeah, Jason Bateman was in that joint, Ryan Reynolds, all these people that just now went up and just blew up. So shout out to Joe Carnahan for casting me in my first movie. But yeah, man, that was my first time like, oh shit, so this is what this is, movie making and acting. I was like, I got to do this for the rest of my life. I want to be one of them dudes that, like Morgan Freeman, acting like in his 80s and 90s, like how I saw Cicely Tyson. I saw Cicely Tyson on Broadway in her 80s, killing it. I want to be at that level and be a musician like them jazz musicians I be seeing. This dude, Roy Haynes, he's a drummer, jazz drummer. He playing in his 90s. I want to be like that, man. So that's with acting and music.
That's fine.
Is there anybody, is there like a, well, first of all, I mean, the John Wick franchise, man, like getting, like what was it like getting into that and becoming like a mainstay in it?
Well, for me, it was one of the most successful films that I've been a part of. And I say that because, like, I have people from all walks of life. Sometimes they be like, hey, you that dude from John Wick? They don't know Common. They like, yo, you that dude from John Wick, which is, I don't mind. It's like, cool. Yeah. And, a lot of, John Wick has such a big following, but I think also the character, I was able to go somewhere that wasn't me. It just wasn't like, you didn't see, when you look on that screen, you ain't saying, oh, that's Common right there. You're looking at the character Cassian. And I think that made, for me, John Wick like one of the best ones I've been able to be a part of. But I mean, I want to do all type of diverse roles. Like one of the dream roles that I would love to do is to play Gil Scott-Heron. Gil Scott-Heron,
Ooh.
like they have to put the wig on me, but I would go with
The poets, baby.
I can get into that,
The
bro.
last
like,
poets.
Yeah, the last poets too,
Yeah.
yo. Like them, the revolution will not be televised. I feel like I would. That's something that I would dig into and do that.
Yo, let's make it happen, baby.
that
Straight
in
down the
mind.
barrel of the
Yes,
camera,
yes,
baby.
sir.
Come on, Gil Scott-Heron.
That's the one we can do.
That's
Yes,
the
sir.
one.
That's
That's the one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
So you've been doing this,
Mhm.
and you, like you said, you've worked with Jason Bateman, Ryan Reynolds. It runs like the gamut. Be like
Yeah.
veteran actors. Is there any game that you picked up or that was given to you? You know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
or observed on one of these sets?
Well, yeah, I worked on the movie American Gangster with Denzel and Ruby Dee, God bless her soul, and Russell Crowe. And I think, for me, that was my second movie. And watching Denzel, how he, first of all, as an actor, just, man, the way he carried himself and the way he treated, like we played his brothers in this movie, like his younger brothers. And man, we stayed as his brothers no matter what. and I love that. I was like, yo, this, because it helped me as an actor. It's almost like what we talked about earlier, Mello, about somebody being at this level and they ain't gonna meet you at no other level.
No.
Denzel just is, I'm at this level and y'all in this movie with me, so this way you gotta meet me.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, he was like, okay. Like, so he stayed in his character almost the whole time, and we had to take heed to that. And it taught me. But then on another flip side, I remember this gaffer, somebody working on the set, like was moving a light and he was hitting this young lady's head who was one of the actresses. And Denzel was like, hey, bruh, yo, you see that woman right there? If you hitting her head, like you hitting her in the head, man. Like, if you gonna need to move the light, say something to her and let her know, and maybe she could step away. He checked, old boy.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, I'm gonna do that shit too. Even though I ain't Denzel, but I was like,
become big, bro.
I respected that, man, because, obviously he had the power, but he saw somebody was being treated because she was a background actor. She was being treated not like they would treat a lead actress.
Right. Yeah.
And anyway, I love the way he handled that. So I mean, I picked up a lot from that movie.
What was the difference between Denzel and John Wick? You know what I mean? Like that's two different rooms though, but two levels of greatness.
Yeah,
right.
true.
Keanu's
Two different
one of them
type
ones.
of greatnesses.
Yeah,
Right?
he is one of those ones.
What is that? What was the difference, Denzel and Keanu?
Denzel was, you could tell he was truly into the process of making the scenes, like the weight of the scene, the emotional scene, the drama, to be there. Like he respected the writing, what should be happening in this scene. And if somebody wasn't performing at the level, he wouldn't say, yo, you ain't doing it right, but he would do what he needed to do to make sure you was at that level.
Yeah.
And it was really approached from a true actor, like I'm gonna make this incredible. That was what Denzel's approach was. In every scene, I remember him improvising and doing stuff. And he told me something that we just talked about, Mello, about being natural. Cause I only had a few lines in the movie. Funny enough, I was playing T.I.'s daddy in the movie. I ain't old enough to be the man's dad, but I'm older than him, but not old enough to be his dad. But
give him a little touch of gray.
Exactly. But I took it, and I was like, yo, I only got a few lines in this movie, but I'm gonna do my best. And I remember it was my day to do my little few lines, and Denzel was like, I wasn't doing it at the level. He was like, man, he started talking to me about something that was natural. Like who the best players right now in baseball? And I was telling him, and he was like, well, that's who you need to be talking about. When you talking about Josh Gibson, that's what it needs to be. It needs to feel like what you just told me. If I was describing some hoop, I can talk about it.
Yeah.
So he basically coached me in that moment and got me to the place where it felt more natural. And watching him also, just like I said, improvise because when people talk about like, man, you you should, as a rapper, you should be a good actor. I don't agree with that, but I also will say that improvising is something that if you do freestyle, it can help.
Yeah.
It can help, and it can feed that kind of creative muscle, but it's still, improvising is its own thing because you're in a character. So you can't like come out of character and start improvising. You got to be in that character, improvise. That being said, watching him and learning about that allowed me to know, man, at some point, I got to get to the level where I'm free enough to be able to improvise in scenes. And, I've had that. I do that now sometimes when it's available for me,
Right.
Yo, Mello, dog, summer is here, man. It's a month away or less. And with the summer months comes concerts, and there's no better way to be prepared to cop your tickets. And that's by staying locked into SeatGeek.
SeatGeek is the #1 rated ticketing app with more than 70,000 events every day, from sports to concerts and more.
All that good stuff, man. Whether you want to watch an NBA playoff game, a little postseason hockey, you know what I mean? MLB game, you know what I'm saying? A little day game. SeatGeek got you covered when it comes to finding options for you.
SeatGeek also puts all the tickets across the web in one place, so you know you're getting the best deal. Then they rate the tickets on a scale from 1 to 10.
Every ticket is backed by the buy guarantee, and SeatGeek is the only site that lets you return your tickets ahead of the event with swaps.
So use our code 7PM for $20 off tickets at SeatGeek. That's $20 off your first purchase with promo code 7PM. Make sure to click the link in the description to download the app.
Before we get back to the show, 7 p.m. in Brooklyn is sponsored by BetterHelp. We all carry around different stresses, big and small. When we keep them bottled up, it can start to affect us negatively.
And therapy, as we know, is a safe space to get things off your chest and to figure out how to work through whatever's weighing you down. So, Miro, how have you benefited from therapy?
You said it, man. I talk about things that have been weighing me down, and I work through and find solutions to my stresses, big or small.
Therapy for me just puts things in perspective, takes biases out of it, allow you to just step outside of it and have a different perspective on whatever it is that's bothering you. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's cool, it's nice, it's brilliant, and it's entirely online. So designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule.
Listen, man, get it off your chest, dog, with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/7PM today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/7PM. From one GOAT to another GOAT, man, the greatest of all time segment in the history of America, you know what I'm saying? Since the 1700s, there ain't been nothing hotter, man. #1 show, #1 segment. It's called Fucking With It or Fuck Outta Here, Common, where we ask you, our esteemed guest, and also the God, Carmelo Anthony, and myself, the human Dewey Flap, a question, and you answer, are you fucking with it? Or is it a, nah, man, fuck out of here, this ain't it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shit. This was a hot button topic, man, real hot button. Austin Rivers, notable son of Doc Rivers, made a statement on the Pat McAfee show.
Right.
He said, I could take 30 players right now in the NBA and throw them in the NFL.
Shit.
You cannot take 30 NFL players right now and put them in the NBA. So a lot of people had opinions on this, man. JJ Watt, Pat Mahomes, taking shots at Austin Rivers, yo, bench players talking to the stars, talking about his own career, like, hey, man, you a Nepo baby, get out of here. So the question is, Common, are you fucking with it or fuck out of here? NBA players are more equipped to play in the NFL than NFL players are to play basketball.
Oh, that's a good one.
This is a good one. I'm gonna have to say fuck out of here. Because this is what I'm saying is I don't think you could just take NBA players and they just gonna just get on the football field and just be able to play football. No. But I mean, I think NBA players is incredibly athletic and like they some of the dopest athletes that exist. But still, to get into that football mode, like I don't think, I think it would take some time is what I'm saying before you could get in it. The reason why I initially said I'm fucking with it is because I do believe if you trained enough hoopers and like the right ones, they could go play football some.
Oh, yeah.
What you think?
30?
Yeah, that's a lot.
30 is a lot, but I think it's true.
He said he fucking with it.
No, what you think?
I don't think there's 30 NBA players that you can throw in the NFL. Like, NFL hard as shit, man.
Yeah.
Like,
contact is one thing. That's the one. That's one thing too.
Let's be honest. Like,
because NFL contact,
let's not get the gridiron gang fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's not.
I'm with you on that.
You know what I mean? Like,
it's the reason you were 3 and not.
It's the reason that you hit that pivotal point in your teenage years and you made a decision to say, you know what? I'm going to play basketball.
That's exactly what I did.
It's a major difference.
100%.
30 players.
Now that's awesome. 30 is too
30
much.
that can play in the NBA that can play in the NFL.
Nah, that's too much.
Out of 450 players in the NBA.
Could 3 players?
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. 3. I think a dude like
Bron can play. Like people talk about this, but he got football instinct. He played football. He know how to play football.
Yeah.
Physically, he can play football. He'll be a tight end.
Yeah, a dude like Ron Artest, bro.
Tight end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A dude like Paolo Banchero, dog, wide receiver, tight end.
Paolo play football though. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, they like guys play football. You know what I'm saying? It's certain guys who just have the football instincts, like movements, and this shit is different.
Yeah, no.
I don't think it's 30.
Yeah, I'm not fucking with it. I'm not fucking with it because 30 is, I agree. 30, the number is what got me.
Yeah, the 30 is crazy.
30 is.
Now, if you said it's a couple guys in the NFL that you can come over here and play in the NBA, I'll say yes, right? With the proper training that you have to go through.
Who would you see out there that can do it?
Man,
and is there a certain position that lends itself to playing basketball? Like if you were wide receiver,
some guys would be that shit don't matter, right? I think guys would be like Lou Dort.
Right.
Yeah. He can.
Yo, I swear to y'all, I love this motherfucker, man. This nigga pulling names out of hat.
I'm just saying, like Lou Dort, right?
Yeah, he can play football.
He's a football player.
Okay.
He could play football.
That plays in the NBA.
Yeah.
Like, he's one.
But what NFL player do you think could make it? If you can name one NFL player that you think could make it in the
make a team or stay on the team or
make a team, a 10-day.
Bench, you know what I'm saying? 15th man.
There's a couple, man, I ain't really thinking of.
Because I always thought of Randy Moss, Calvin Megatron.
Randy Moss.
Randy Moss back then, Randy could definitely, could have made the NBA. Like if he would have stuck with it.
Yeah, I heard Randy used to
Randy could, T.O.
He was who? Boom.
Yeah, I hope with T.O.
T.O. probably could have made a team, because of his work ethic and you know what I'm saying? Like he would have made a team, but Randy could have been on the NBA team.
Let me give respect to the football. You're right. The hoopers can't go into a football game and just do what they do.
We can. It's just we ain't gonna commit to that.
Right.
I tell you this. I say this shit all the time, bro, because I coach Pee-wees and shit, and it's and for myself personally, dog. It only took 2 Oklahoma drills for me to be like, all right, bro, I'm gonna do comedy. I'm gonna do this comedy shit full time.
I love the Oklahoma drills. Like, I get you one-on-one. I love Oklahoma drills. Right? I get to walk back to the block and say I ran you over. Like, you know what I'm saying?
I would do this shit because my hands would be
bigger pads. So you know what I'm saying? What fucked me up was I had moved from running back to wide receiver.
Oh, so you played.
Right? I'm coming.
This T.O.?
Yeah, this T.O.
This T. Higgins who played with the Bengals right now.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
but T. Higgins played ball in high school. Like you know what I mean? Like he really could play.
Oh, he can hoop then.
Yeah, T. Higgins really could play.
Oh shit! Okay, all right.
T. Higgins had a chance.
God damn.
Bro,
now
so it's a bunch of guys like now today NFL that if they get on the break, they doing that type of shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Windmills between the legs. But as far as can play in the NBA, is only probably a handful.
Yeah.
Because it's the game. It's the game.
Yeah, it's a handful of that. So I,
Somebody throws you a 80-page playbook. It's like, yo, Melo, you got to learn this shit.
fuck out of here.
Yeah,
Niggas
fuck
ain't
outta
playing
here.
in the NFL.
Yeah, okay, fuck out of here.
But to my point, Lou Dort.
Lou Dort,
Like,
you got it, baby.
that is a prime example of someone that
could
play in the NFL.
Right. But you played a little bit of football growing up.
Yeah, that's the story I was trying to get to. Once I moved to, as you start getting taller, you start moving out.
Yeah.
Right? You go from the quarterback to the backfield and you start moving out to the receiver. I hit a slant across the middle. Quarterback set me up, made me reach.
Hung you up the drive? Nah, so don't do that.
Yeah.
Never again.
Yeah.
Come on.
He's like,
I'm
hooping.
cool. I just know I'm not ready for it. I mean, I'm ready for it, but I'm not willing to put the work in to get my body right to take all of it. You know what I
Take
mean?
all this
Yeah.
punishment, depending on what you
This
feel
is
like.
early. This is 14.
Yeah, that's crazy.
15.
Nah,
So, I'm cool. Fuck out of here. Niggas can't play that.
Fuck out of here. Get that shit out of here.
Cool.
Oh, this is crazy.
Yeah.
This
So
is
Master P. Ritchie said that if he was coaching New Orleans Pelicans, that they'd win a championship. His exact words were, y'all need to put me on the coaching staff next year, and we gonna win the whole thing. So, you fucking with him, fuck out of here. Master P coaching the New Orleans Pelicans to a championship.
P is he a masterful businessman that did a lot of great things, but I'm gonna have to get the fuck out of here with that shit like that. Like, I mean, and he might know the game of basketball, but to that level, to get New Orleans, the Pelicans, to a championship next year.
Yeah, P is crazy.
Yo, he
You wildin', bro.
Yeah,
Fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Me personally, I'm gonna say, nah. Nah, my guy, that take a long time, dog.
Yeah, nah, P.
It take a long time to build that roster, P.
Come on, P.
Come on, P.
Yo, come
P was
on.
on my team, man. I always got a story.
P was on your team.
Because he was in the league for real, wasn't he?
P tried out for the Denver Nuggets.
Did he?
Yeah.
And he
was out
made it.
there.
He made
You
it
got
on
a
the
10-day?
team.
Nah, he played it I think he played like a preseason or two.
Did he?
Yeah, but P was coming to practice and he was still no limit soldier P. You know what I'm saying? He was
Yeah,
still
the shit with the tank on the
he
chick.
coming through the limos, white limos to practice.
Straight up.
You know what I mean? He jumping from practice, get on the plane, flying out. Like, so P was
So P could have made it to the league.
he was in preseason with us.
Damn.
That's
Yeah.
wild.
He played in the CBA. Played in the CBA.
I never knew that
He played he was on, I think, Toronto Raptors. Like,
That's what I seen. I seen him on the Raptors. I was like, damn, he got a 10-day on the Raptors?
yeah,
Like, he out here hooping.
P had some looks.
Yeah.
But P, it was everything off the court for P. You know what I'm saying? It was still no limit P. Tank
Right.
coming through with the soldiers.
Oh, shit, sink the soccer being 504
You know what I'm saying?
boys.
They wasn't ready for that. They wasn't ready for that in Denver. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I tried to get P on. No, P will tell you.
Yeah.
I tried to make a
that's
call for
crazy.
P. It was just, to that same stereotype of
Yeah.
as you as a rapper
Yeah.
being an actor.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a rapper
Being a hooper.
being a hooper. Is he serious? Is he gonna take it serious?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He don't really need this.
He got to go on tour.
He going from the
Yo, he gotta go to it.
he playing in the game in the Pepsi Center and then performing in the No Limit concert
In the jersey?
in the jersey, so in the camo Denver Nuggets jersey.
Yo, the Camel Denver Nuggets is crazy.
So now,
Yeah.
I love you to death, people. Now, fuck out of here.
Fuck out of here, my guy. Nah, it's not happening. Listen, man, over the past few years, active NBA players have been pulling up to playoff games. It's been happening more and more. We saw Bron in Cleveland earlier this week. Tyrese Maxey in Dallas. I saw that. I was like, is that Tyrese Maxey?
Right.
Both watching games courtside. Are we fucking with it or fuck out of here? Active players pulling up to playoff games. I'm going to start with you, Melo, because that's motherfucking old head, motherfucker. Disrespecting the game, motherfucker.
Angry vet.
Yeah. Give me the angry vet
Angry
tape.
vet over here.
Angry vet.
Yeah, no, you're a peace guy. He's a peace guy.
I bring peace.
God.
He's a peace guy all
I
day.
bring peace, man.
Yeah.
What's the question?
Fucking with it or fuck out of here. Active players, not retired, but active players. They lose in the first round, but they pulling up to come watch you play.
Yeah.
Comms starting and coming to watch him play. You fucking with it or fuck out of here?
I'm fucking with it. Now.
Now.
I think today's culture, I'm fucking with it.
Okay.
Before, nah.
Oh.
It wasn't like,
What was the matter
it
with it
wasn't
before?
like I'm not going to Miami and we there a couple of days and I'm pulling up to go check D Wade out. Like,
Right.
nah. Like, I'm not going, if I'm in Cleveland doing something else, nah.
Yeah.
Like, it was the competition was a lot.
Yeah.
It was, everything was
Right.
based off of the competitiveness that everybody had their own different situations.
Yeah.
I think so now it's just more like, oh, yeah, people, we supporting.
Yeah.
I think what we created, they're building off of and
Right.
benefiting
Yeah.
from that, right? So they
Yeah.
taking kind of those friendships and relationships
Yeah.
where it wasn't cool to be cool with niggas that you was competing against.
Right.
Now they build off that
Right.
because everybody, kind of got their own thing. I can support you, niggas ain't hating.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we
Yeah.
want that. We want that camaraderie.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I would love to see more people more current players go see some basketball.
Let's
games.
build. Let me shout. Yeah, yo, you
I
hooping,
remember
bro.
I went to I was in LA during this time, and we had lost to the Lakers, right, in the Western Conference Finals. But I'm in LA. I'm there. It's the finals. It's Lakers, Orlando, I think. All right. I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to the game. Like, I want this feeling. Like, I want to go to the game. I want to see, I want to feel the finals feeling. I walked in, was about to go to my seat. I got to the end of the tunnel. I'm out of here. Get the fuck out of here, man. What am I doing? What the fuck am I can't be in that environment. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I think so now it's just more the support of the game. The game is growing. There's more eyeballs. It's cool to go watch other NBA players, other NBA games. It's cool now. You know what I mean? And there's nothing wrong with that shit.
Yeah.
Even me now, like, love going to the games.
Yeah.
Because I can go as a fan. I can go and really enjoy the game differently. There's no pressure on me. Like, I don't have to comment on the game. You know what I mean? I can just go enjoy the game, have a drink, chill, laugh, and be a fan.
Yeah.
You know? And I think players feel that way when they go to these games. You know, niggas got wine. You know what I mean? Like, this is our game. This is our sport. We should be able to go support that.
Word.
So I'm fucking with it.
Yeah. I'm fucking with it too. I mean, just because I like the fact to know that like players love the game that much that they just want to watch it too and be around it and man, it is a good feeling. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I love going to a show and I know ain't nobody gonna try to bring me on stage or none of that shit. And I just get to enjoy the show.
Right, yeah.
Enjoy the show. And I think, to me, it's just another example of people who love what they do and love the sport. Like Melo's saying it. I get geeked when I'm seeing Melo at the Knicks joints. I'm like, these cats is there watching. That's dope. And it was dope to see LeBron at the Cleveland game. And
that's fine.
And then, to see Tyrese Maxey. He from Texas. He was probably at home and just decided to go to the game when one of his homies is on that squad. But it's just, to me, a show of love for the game.
Yeah. Another point, I think people don't look at it like this. It's like when we go to these cities, like, and it's not our game, we still want to, as a fan, we still want to be entrenched into, like, just hanging out. Like, that's, sometimes we just want to go hang out. Like, I could be home, like, oh shit, let's go to the Wizards game. Like, I'm not even gonna think twice about it because it's like I'm home, I'm chilling. I just want to. It's something to do.
Right.
Most of us look at it that way.
Yeah.
It's just the outside world, will kill you for that. You catch flack for that. What you doing? You're supposed to be home working out. You're supposed to be training.
I'm about to ask
I'm
you.
off. Like,
Right. Because
what you want me to do?
Because now, like, everybody, they kind of, if you're a Tyrese Maxey, for example, you could kind of control your own narrative, bro. You got your own social media. You can say, yo, I'm here because I live here. I was at my auntie house. I brought all my cousins to the game.
I shouldn't even have to explain that.
Shouldn't even have to do that. But you in your era, like, did you even have that option? You know what I'm saying? Because it was a different type of media.
The thing is, I'm sure the option was there. It just wasn't heard of. It wasn't thought of. Yo, you going to see another nigga game? What? But you know what I'm saying? Like, so even like it's an instance where my rookie year, like Bron and them didn't make the playoffs, right? So he came to one of the playoff games. You know what I mean? He came to one of the playoff games, and it was like, oh shit. They didn't know how to take that because they never seen that before. Yeah. Them players before that wasn't going to support each other and going, they wasn't doing that. So when they seen that, they're like, oh shit, this ain't no bullshit. This is real. He came in for whatever reasons, but he came to support. That wasn't heard of. You know what I'm saying? And he had to come and sit up there in the suite. Now they pulling up, they sit right there. We Spike Lee in it. Right, Spike Lee.
It's the real, like,
you know what I'm saying? So it's a major
Y'all
difference.
broke the mold.
We broke the mold.
Y'all broke the mold.
We broke the mold.
Because that was the first like group of hoopers that we seen that we got to see visually. We're like, yo, this my brother. We brothers. We friends. We ride with each other. So that's dope though to me.
So I love to see the support now of everybody, kind of somebody in the back on the conference call. I love to see that. Honestly, I love to see that.
Yo, so let me ask you this, champ. Oklahoma City makes it to the Western Conference Final. Denver makes it to the Western Conference Final. You get an invite to one home game. Which one would you choose?
Denver.
Denver?
Yeah, that's not even, you know what I mean? That's not even a question. You know, that's not even close.
Easy. I thought it was going to be spicy. It wasn't even spicy. Sorry, Pierce.
I'm pulling up. I'm pulling up to a game in Denver.
Let's go.
I'm pulling up. I'm trying to get the timing right, but I'm pulling up.
Here we go, baby. You know what I'm saying? Denver.
Yeah, because how many years, I mean, first of all, they drafted you in. How many years was you there?
7.5.
Yeah, that's
a bid, B.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna pull out for sure.
Shout to y'all, yo. Listen, man. Like I said, #1 show in the goddamn universe. You know what I'm saying? 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Comment in the building, man. Thank you for coming through. Appreciate you.
Great,
live from the hood, baby. You know what time it is. 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. Carmelo, Anthony, the guy, your boy, the kid, the human do-rag flap. Common sense in the building. I'm gonna call him common sense because I know him from the 90s.
Yeah.
You heard?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll be right back next week. Don't go nowhere. Hoops, culture, it's all love, baby. Stay locked.